The technology seems to be very, very transparent. They aren't really noticing that there is a computer. They're focused on their avatar, performing certain quests. They're focused on what their mission is. They're focusing on the task, not the technology. The technology is obviously there. They have to have it in order to do this. But it's so neat because when you hear them talk, they aren't saying, my avatar is doing this. They're saying, I'm doing this. I think the transparency is there. The technology sort of disappears.
I think it's important that you use technology like this to incorporate into your lessons, because most kids, if you just lecture them on this stuff, they'll fall asleep in the middle of it. And if you actually use this technology, they'll actually become engrossed in this and actually want to do all the quests, learn all this stuff. And most times you don't even realize that you're learning it.
We're learning, and it's school, but it's like we're just doing a game at home. Anything we usually do, but we're getting grades for it. So it's fun at the same time. It's in an educational way, even though we don't like to think of it as educational, it still is.
Ms. Treat can assign quests that go along with our curriculum in actual school, and so she could assign you a quest, and then you have to do it, and you have to go find different people, and then whenever you finish a quest, usually you have to write a response to the quest, and there's usually a big question that's an open-ended thing, and you have to write a paragraph about it at the end.
Well, when we're doing the quest making Mikomazi, we write down notes in here. That way, it's not all just fun. We still have, little notes and stuff to do like school. Mikomazi has a really poor economy, so some people are going to give money to either tourism or farm production. So we had to write down pros and cons about each one. That way we could make a choice and help them decide.
Sometimes they go home sick if they catch the flu or the virus or something, and I catch them online doing their missions and quests. I don't assign outside work. They are not required to do any outside work for me, but yet they're going on nights, weekends, when they're sick, and they're doing this. So the extra motivation that's involved with this program and the experience that they have that seems so real is what's really, really impressing me.
We're faced with real problems, and Dr. Treat does a good job of giving us background on these problems and how they're actually real-world problems that may have occurred or something like them may have occurred, and then we get to sort of solve them in our own way, in a way that we're learning real-life situations in an online environment.
We actually get to see real-life experiences in the Making Mikomazi instead of doing something computer simulated, like this is never going to happen. This actually did happen, and this might happen again because more and more game reserves are being built to save the endangered animals. You might have to make this decision someday, and you're already getting to know why and how you're making this decision. And you're also giving the reasons in the response at the end, so you can actually reflect on why you made the decision instead of just randomly guessing.
As they get more and more advanced, I'm becoming less and less of a guide. What I mean by that is my guidance is coming more transparently through the reflections, through the responses to their submissions. So it's sort of like the focus is not on me. The focus is completely on their experience, and it's individualized. No two kids get the same response. Plus the fact that it's so complex that when they make a decision, they see a different result in that world. So one student will make one decision, and another student will make another decision, and then they'll be able to see the impact. And in our discussions, we'll talk about the various impacts of their decisions.
I actually learn from this computer world instead of someone actually teaching me. I get to learn it by myself. I get to see what decisions I made and why and what happens after I make the decision. So the other classes, they tell you what other people did and what other people. You can actually see this as if you're the one that's doing it.
Feedback can come from other people in the Quest Atlantis, because they can actually be able to revise quests and tell you what you've done wrong. And so when they give you back your paragraph or whatever you've written, they just say, okay, I think you need to work a little bit more on this. And sometimes Ms. Treat can do it too.
When I learn about their different abilities and disabilities and preferences, what they like and what they don't like, I can then find work that's even more in line with what their needs are. So if they feel like they want to illuminate in a social commitment, I can find something that's right up their interest and that would keep them motivated and keep them engaged, which is pretty awesome.